Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. A couple of weeks ago, I demonstrated using kicks and legs to keep a guy off who had pushed you away. Maybe you tripped backwards and he was at distance. And that's where we want to start, is keeping them away with legs until we can get up. The first thing to recognize is, what is our objective if I go to the ground? Now, I'm going to do everything I can not to be there. And everybody's probably heard that old statistic, and the Gracies made their fame in the 80s and 90s from this, 90% of all fights go to the ground. Well, that was in police work. And there, yes. So we have to look at the separate and distinct purposes. If somebody puts me on the ground, my only goal is to get up, especially in today's age where it could be a group of people and I don't want to be on the ground. I want to be up as quick as I can, so to rebound. Now, as we get older, that gets harder, and it makes certain things very important: agility, balance work, and those kinds of things to help keep us stance work in order to brace and not end up on the ground as best we can. But if we've fallen, keep them away until I can get up. But now let's look at worst case scenario. I'm on the ground and they're on top of me. Again, I don't want to be jiu-jitsu guy, butt scooting, rolling around, trying to submit, break his arm, hold him for the police. My only goal is to get up and get away. I'll call the police when I get home, but I don't want to have to be wallowing. My job is not to arrest this guy. Now, I had this discussion with my son-in-law, who's ex-Army and taught military combatives, and he's like, no, I'm going to get a hold of him and hang on to him. And that's great. If that's what you want to do that. Then your goals on the ground are completely different and separate. But if my goal is simply to get him off of me, get up and get out, then the techniques are going to be slightly different. Second thing to realize when we're talking about that is most people don't really know how to fight. And so people saying, well, a good jiu-jitsu guy, if he got you down there, would do such and such. Well, let me tell you something about a good jiu-jitsu guy. He's not going to be the one attacking you. And if you're polite, those are going to be the nicest guys. Your Navy SEALs, your Army Rangers, those guys are the nicest guys outside of their combat duty that you're ever going to run into. They're not the ones who are going to be initiating conflict. And if you don't start nothing, won't be nothing, that kind of attitude will go a whole long way to keeping you out of situations. So the individual to whom we're gearing, and again, this is all percentages and playing the odds kind of a thing. Odds are the guy who's attacking you, the bully, the whoever, is not a trained fighter, and therefore your tactics are different, and you don't need to submit them, you just need to get away. And so the goals, the specificity of your goals when you're on the ground becomes super, super important. So if I'm on the ground and I've been knocked down, my first job is Max coming at me, is I don't want him to get at me, okay? He's gonna try to pass my guard, I'm gonna kick him in the head, do whatever I can to keep him away. But let's say now he gets past, boom, and now he gets on top, okay? Most people are going to bully bounce you. Everybody's seen this. Everybody in the world now is watching enough UFC that they're going to do what's called the ground and pound. Now, it didn't have a name. It was just a schoolyard bully when I was a kid 60 years ago. But he's going to come down, cross me, and get on. Now, if he's up here really high, I'm going to turn the side just a little bit. Again, I don't need to grab, submit, and do all this stuff. I need to cover so I don't get hit. But look how close this is. Right here. Boom. I can elbow that, which is going to bring him down. I can then shoot to the eyes, boom, and then pretty much just roll the guy off. And then I can get up and away. So I don't have to grab a hold of him and beat him, okay? So if he's punching and he's up high, I have the groin very easily with my elbow. I'm not going to worry about thighs and whatnot. Now the other thing, and I think Calandra Sensei, Mike Calandra Ishinru, used to be a subway cop in New York, now teaches in Arizona. But in Ishinru, they have this thumb. I was taught this in Kempo as a Hansuki, or a half fist. Full fist, thumb folds over, half fist is on top. Again, if I'm covering and trying not to get hit, and then he comes down and gets a hold of me, these two thumbs, one on each side, any rib will do. I'm not trying to develop power because I can't turn my hip And that's the thing you'll always hear. You can't turn your hip and get power into it. But if I'm using my sharp, pointy little thumbs and just come into these ribs, that's going to stun enough that then I can finish and do these other things. So the basic thing I want to do is hit something hard, and in that instant, hip rolling. Okay? Oh, he went up above me? Great. Now look where his face is. Again, eyes. Stay here. Come up a little bit. Throat. I don't have to have Shaolin conditioned finger breaking, my buddy Bill Roy, who breaks boards with a single index finger. I don't have to have that power. If he's bent over and I go right into the throat, it doesn't take a whole lot. I go into the eyes, I'm going to have an effect on him. I go either to the trachea or along the sternocleidomastoid into the carotid fold in his neck. So if he's away and he's trying to punch, I cover. I hit the groin. I can come down with my hands at groin. Okay? I can punch into the groin from up to down here. I can come to the eyes as he's punching. If I can, I'm going to try and wrap, bring an arm across. If he's coming around sideways punches, I've got to cover, but I can strike straight into the center, solar plexus, up into the eyes. So the quick strikes, the dangerous strikes, the things people don't like to talk about, right? He's going around the side, boom, let's go slow. I'm covering. His middle is open. I'm going to simply drop this, solar plexus, groin. This brings him in and straight up from here into the eyes. At this point, I can take his hand over, pull this hand over, and all I have to do is get him tilted a little bit in one direction or the other and hip bump him. Then, let's go the other way. Okay. So here, and I get him off a little bit and I hip bump him. Now we can do the toe, the roundhouse, the groin. So I'm in a position now, after he's rolled off, to immediately do some damage and get out of here. And that's my goal. I'm not going to go over here and arm bar him. I'm not going to come in and choke submit him or do a heel lock or an ankle lock. We can do those things, and they're good to learn. And we've done them. So again, stay next there, right? So once, if I've rolled him off and I decide I want to arm lock him somehow, I can come in and do that, okay? I can come, I'm not going to put my legs over here. You'll see a lot of jiu-jitsu guys put the leg over the head. If he bites into my calf like he's a hungry cannibal, bad. I'm going to put my foot under his head. But it's still the same arm lock. Palm is up, squeeze and lift. It's not hard. We can heel kick. I'm going to focus more on what we call the atemi, or the striking. Stand here and arm locking him until the cops come or getting somebody on their cell phone. Hey, call 911 for me. Some guys will let you break their arm and get out. A guy on drugs, he's not going to feel this, okay? But if I can incapacitate something on him, crank his neck here, smash his face. So if I do those things, I'm going to have a more successful opportunity, or more opportunity of success for escape. I'm not trying to finish, submit, subdue the guy. I'm trying to hurt him and get away. My goal in self-defense is don't be there. And if that means I can hurt him somehow quickly using vital strikes, okay, come back again. We'll turn that off real quick. So again, as I'm knocked down, I'm kicking, I'm rolling, I'm scooting, I'm keeping him away. I'm trying to get up to an elbow, rolling elbow to elbow, back, tuck, all of those kinds of things that I can do as much as possible to keep him away. And I've done that, and I've got him, but now he gets on top, boom, oh no, he gets past me. Now, most people are not going to stand up beside you and punch down, okay? Stand up, punch down. If he's standing up and punching down, that's a stupid place for him to be. That makes it even easier for me to get up and get away, okay? But they've seen enough UFC and whatever, cage fighting, that they've jumped down and they're going to do the ground pound. Now, the other thing they might do, which is super stupid and ineffective, but you never know, and especially women might face this, is the two-hand choke. Oh no, he's going to strangle me. Okay, I have elbows that I can pop up, and again, if I brace here, go ahead and hold on. Just squeeze me. But if I straighten his elbows and buck, okay, that becomes a very easy thing. And again, once he gets to here, I have armpits, right? Thumbs, doesn't take a lot of power. Backward punches with the knuckles, so trying to punch in traditional hook position, no. But thumbs, hooks, his face is here, right? His throat is here. So I have all sorts of stuff. We can come down on his ankle, okay? And I'm sitting my hip right on the inside of his shin ankle right now, and put this leg down. He's not loving it. He doesn't want to put that leg down. I understand why it's up. So those are, the idea is hurt him, get him off me, and get away. Where do we hurt him? Groin, solar plexus, eyes, finger strikes, gouges. Grab the ear and pull. Grab one ear and push the chin. So we have a plethora of things that we can do, which in MMA are illegal. And a good MMA fighter is going to pull away and reset. And yeah, it's a battle down there. I'm not saying it's a one and done. Too often we look at this. We get the impression that, oh, I know a technique and the technique's going to work. If I just do this, the fight is over. No, it's not. I need to have all of these tools in my box while he's on top of me and block it. If he tries to punch through the middle like this hand just came, now that changes the tools I can use. I can apply a lock here. I can cross my legs like I do in Naihanchi and step over. Now I'm on his leg. I have the side strikes from Naihanchi. So we're hurting the guy so that I can get out. I'm not rolling around and trying to stay on the ground and play that game like jiu-jitsu or BJJ. No offense to my BJJ guys, please. I love Master Ken calls it BJJ. All right, never mind. But that's the idea. Hurt him, get out, get away. We don't have to restrain, hold, unless you're a cop. Then you have to learn those other techniques, the heel locks, arm bars, rear naked choke, which is kind of outlawed in most police forces even now. But again, for us, all tools are available. From a karate perspective and a self-defense perspective, hurt them and get out. That's it. Thanks, sir. Thank you for joining today's Seidokan Saturday. Hope that made some sort of sense as I rambled and rolled. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm, so even if you hated it, put some kind of response and it'll get the views. And until next week, most importantly, as always, let's keep practicing.